I still believe that Arch Manning is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and everyone needs to take a massive deep breath when it comes to this week one overreaction that we saw against Ohio State. It wasn't pretty. Arch Manning ultimately didn't live up to these unrealistic expectations that everyone set for him, and that's what comes with being a Manning. But everybody is switching up so fast. Classic our society. That's just how it works. People build you up, and then they tear you down the next day. Everyone has been complaining for the last 2 years how they want to see Arch Manning play over Quinn Ewers. Once Quinn Ewers leaves, now it's Arch's turn, and everyone's like, okay, let's see Quinn back there. We're sick of Arch already. And it's like, it's been one game. Let's everyone take a big, deep breath. I still believe that Arch Manning is going to have a tremendous season, and I just hate the overreactions. It's week one. I honestly felt like a lot of quarterbacks that were in Arch Manning's position struggled. So many guys came back this season to try and increase their draft stock. You look at Klubnik, you look at Nussmeier. Obviously, Arch has a massive opportunity to increase his draft stock. And I wasn't overly impressed by the quarterback play in week one as a whole. And I think that's what's expected in week one. You can expect that because these guys have had these super long off seasons. Some of them are learning new offenses with new offensive coordinators. You're getting new receivers in there. Texas lost so many of their top receivers last year, including the tight end Gunnar Helm as well. I'm like, there's a learning curve that comes with it at certain points. In game one, week one, there's going to be a learning curve. And I honestly felt like the training wheels were on for most of this game for Arch Manning. I could understand how in the first few drives, okay, we're going to, go to the quick game. We're going to predominantly run the football because we want to ease Arch into it. I could see that for the first few drives of the game, but all of a sudden you're at halftime and you're at 0 points. And I'm still like, okay, when are they going to take the training wheels off? I want to see more from Arch Manning. And then in the second half, yes, he throws the interception, but they were at 0 points until like 4 minutes left in the game. And in my mind, I'm like, are they really going to get shut out right now? And there are a few different things that go overall with this dominant performance from Ohio State. Yes, Arch Manning struggled. We'll fully break that down here in this video. But first of all, I think you have to tip your cap to Ohio State. That was a tremendous defensive performance. That was one of the best defenses in football. Last year, they lost a lot of guys to the draft, obviously, once they won the national championship. Matt Patricia comes in to be the DC of this team. Let's not forget his pedigree. He's won 2 Super Bowls in the NFL with the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick and company. So that's a brutal first ever start in this season for Arch Manning, his first ever road start against a 2-time Super Bowl champion at the defensive coordinator spot. That's a brutal matchup already. Then he has to go on the road in the shoe in just a brutal environment overall, and he has to try and overcome that as well. And you have the weight of the world on your shoulders carrying that Manning last name. And we all understand that he's talented, and that's why it's so frustrating that everyone's switching up so fast. It's like, it's been one game. Everything that Texas wants in front of them, everything that they've envisioned for this season, a Heisman Trophy winner, a national championship, a college football playoff berth, winning the SEC, winning 10, 11 games, that's still in front of them. Everyone can take a deep breath. This is one game. I honestly think with the new style and format of the college football playoff, you're going to see teams being rewarded for playing these tough week one matchups. We've got to tip our cap because both of these teams elected to play for super hard matchups in week one, and they didn't have to do that. Now, yes, the SEC is going to be tough for Texas. Arch is going to have to get a lot better. What I saw personally from this Texas team, I mentioned the training wheels. It felt like the training wheels were on for way too long with Arch. We've seen dynamic plays from him in the past. Yes, he started 2 games last year. They would bring him in for certain running plays, maybe 4th down, etc. I wanted to see more from Arch. The main thing that stood out to me was the lack of read options. There were way too many times where the Texas offense would run the ball. They would do zone handoffs. And in my mind, I'm like, man, if Arch just pulls a few of these, this is going to lead to some massive plays happening. It's going to open up a lot more, in my opinion. And I just didn't see any major read options. It felt like all of the runs that Arch had were when he was in the shotgun, the pocket would break down, and most of the time he really wouldn't get much. But, he had one good run. I think it was third down, picked up a first. Like, I wanted to see more explosivity with Arch's legs, especially if you're trying to ease him into this game. We understand that handing the ball off, and we understand that the quick game, that's going to help. The screens, the slants, the outs, etc. That's going to help ease a quarterback into the game. But you know what else helps ease him into the game? The zone reads, the read options that he's going to have. And I think that would have been very beneficial for this team. I want to see more from Arch in the aspect of the short to intermediate game. I'm not concerned about, his deep play potential. The one interception, that's just going to happen. That's going to happen over the course of a season. I think this Ohio State team was unbelievable in the secondary. They weren't giving up anything, and the announcers kept talking about it. They weren't giving up anything down the field. So I'm not worried about the explosive plays coming for Texas. I think for Arch, it's going to be about when you are uncomfortable in the pocket, can you consistently check the ball down? Can you consistently find the open guy in the intermediate to short game? And that's what he's going to have to be called on to do, especially in the SEC. He's going to have to get rid of the ball. He's going to have to make the right play. You can never go broke taking a profit. Take the 5-yard out, take the 5-yard check down. And he's got to be more accurate when he's doing so. A lot of people were criticizing his footwork. I'm not going to go in and do a film breakdown here, but he's got to be more accurate. He's got to be more accurate. And I believe we're going to see that. This is not a super hard thing to fix. These are, accuracy issues when pressure's coming, when he's feeling the pressure of playing in Ohio State in week 1 with the weight of the world on his shoulders, when people are saying he's going to be the Heisman favorite, when he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, when he's going to win the championship. Let's take a deep breath. This is still a very long season for Texas, in my opinion. And I believe that they're going to be awesome this year. I really do. And that's why I think it's ridiculous that everyone's overreacting to Arch Manning in Texas right now, because at the end of the day, it's a game of inches. Like, yes, you don't play your most flawless game offensively, but you lose by a touchdown. And at the end of the day, you give up a touchdown on 4th and goal and you don't score it on 4th and goal as well. So it's like, if those go, the other way, it's a game of inches for a reason. Ohio State is able to punch it in, whereas you're not able to punch it in. So Texas is not that far off, and I thought their defense was absolutely awesome. They did a great job of holding Jeremiah Smith in check. Again, they did it in the college football playoff last year. He comes in again as probably the best player in college football, and they did a tremendous job of holding him in check. He really wasn't that explosive. The defense also did a great job in the run game. Ohio State had 31 carries for only 89 yards. That's a 2.9 average per carry, which is tremendous in my opinion. I just felt like Texas continued to do a great job of getting stops to get Arch Manning this ball back, and they almost had an opportunity to win it. They almost had an opportunity on that final drive where, they complete that deep ball and, they're past midfield, and Arch just can't complete those 2 gimmies where, I feel like if they have those, they have a really good shot at winning this game. But there's a lot to be excited about, in my opinion. I know everyone's going to look at the negatives, look at the loss. You only put up 7 points. Arch struggled, 17 for 30 for 170 yards. There's a lot to take away from my opinion. You get 1 stop on the goal line, you punch it in on 4th and goal, you complete that over route to Wingo on 3rd down. It's a completely different game. There's so much to be excited about if you're Texas, in my opinion. And I just don't think this is a reason to overreact at all. Everything is still in front of them. The national championship's still in front of them. Arch Manning being the Heisman is still in front of them. Him being the number 1 overall pick, them winning the SEC, them getting to the college football playoff. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is still in front of them. They've got 3 easy weeks in a row where they can just continue to get Arch more comfortable in the offense. You get San Jose State this week, you get UTEP next week, you get Sam Houston the week after, 3 absolute cupcakes, and then before you know it, you're 3-1, and then you go into your SEC schedule. You're going to go on the road against Florida. That's going to be another big and tough environment for Arch, but I believe he'll bounce back in a big-time way. You're going to have Oklahoma after that, Georgia on the road later in the season, and then Texas A&M. You've got 4 more ranked opponents. I believe that Texas is going to be just fine. I still believe that, especially with the Alabama loss, I originally predicted Alabama to win the SEC. I think Alabama could be broken right now. I think you still have Texas and Georgia as the top 2 teams in the SEC. I think LSU could honestly throw their hat in the ring, but I'm not as concerned as everybody else. I know everybody's hitting the panic button. Let's all take a deep breath. Arch Manning is still one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He's going to do his thing this year, and let's not overreact about Texas. My name is Caden Kubler, and thank you guys for watching.